It's wet and blustery conditions here at Kanebridge Oval for this round 3 clash between the East Coast Eagles and the UTS Bats. And a very fitting ceremony, of course, Anzac Day weekend this weekend, and we just saw the players lined up and paying their respects for the fallen. But as we get into the afternoon's game, you can just see there both sides in the huddle. And joining me up here on top of the scissor lift in the wind and the rain at the moment, Matthew Graham. And Matty, this one is going to be a dire affair between these two teams, no doubt.
Yeah, g'day Craig, thanks for having me. Yeah, as you say, wet and wild at the moment. The skills are really going to be tested out there. Looking forward to the clash though. It's a fair bit of interest in it. UTS started the season obviously with a big win over University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs a couple of weeks ago, and then had the weekend off with the bye. So really interesting to see how they come out, and obviously we know East Coast credentials.
Just about to get set for the start of this game.
I trudged through the middle just before, and I can tell you it is extremely slippery through the middle, so you can expect to see a fair bit of footy on the deck early, I'd say.
Just see there the tracks of the line marker have really cut in to the centre square wicket here. You can tell it's going to be get your skates on out there as umpire holds the ball aloft. And we're underway in this round 3 game. In the ruck there for the Eagles. Just see that the ball comes clear. And straight away the umpire's sent a free kick. It is in the back. It'll be a Bats ball. And they want to move it quickly. It's going to be the key today, the skills. Well, that'll be a big test as well. And that's not a great handball to start it off as they move it clear. Drinkwater keeps it across. It was McConnell. He is one to watch this afternoon, that's for sure. The rain's starting to get a little bit heavier here. Getting the ball out, the Eagles trying to get this ball clear, but it just seems to be locked up. And we'll have a ball up just in front of the scoreboard here.
I think we're going to see a lot of this today. Can't see any open flowing football right at the moment.
The wind at the moment is right at the back of us, pushing straight across the ground. So no real advantage. What it is doing though is bringing the rain from way away. And it is coming down a little bit harder at the moment. We'll do our best to bring you the pictures. Right there, that one there from Murray. Brought it down to ground. The umpire's seen a free kick. And it's going to the Eagles. And this will be Stubbs. Another one to watch. Goes short. Not a bad option.
Carl Merson, back from Sydney University NEFL duties.
Spent a bit of time over there at St George as well. Good to see him back here at the Eagles. Swings that one around the corner. No mark to be taken there. Stubbs gives it up, gives it off there to McConnell. McConnell handballs across. Kick from Ford on goal. Is going to go across the face, but the mark might be taken by Reed. Couldn't quite bring it in. Eventually gets it down to Costello. Costello goes backwards to go forwards, and the mark's taken from Matthew Eastman, and he will go back and line up for a shot on goal. Eastman, a local product here from the Kellyville Rouse Hill Magpies Juniors. Father played many moons ago for the Borkham Hills Falcons. So very much a local product in Eastman.
Take a good kick here.
Wind really going to affect this one. See how it comes off the boot. It's offline and as expected pushes to the right. And just the minor score. Skies seem to be clearing out the back of us a little bit, but still that rain falling.
Even some blue sky right in the distance. Not sure we'll see too much of it over the top of us though.
I am told though we are seeing the best of the weather at the moment, if you can say that. Near the coast is getting all sorts of wonderful weather at the moment. We had hailstorms go through Sydney yesterday, so a pleasure just that we're playing a bit of football as this one comes in for Reed. I think
Dimmery, I think.
Off the boot of Dimmery.
Lovely hit.
Now this is a very difficult pocket to score from. Expect this one just to sit up in the breeze, get under it. You may have read it beautifully. It just pulled at the last moment. And UTS looking to get it out, but just an errant handball. And off the deck, you'll see a bit of that this afternoon as well. Coming through at pace, that was Eastman again. Goes short, couldn't bring it in, was Blatko. Handball up, gives it off to McConnell, and McConnell runs into goal, and they get the first, the Eagles. Some great play, opportunistic. And the Eagles get the first goal on the board. As we head back to the centre, ball's up. Inventing one around the corner there, and it's going to come off. Stubbs will take the mark. Not sure it travelled the required journey there, Matt.
No, it was nice and short. Umpire said it was okay.
Kruger off the left boot. Low ball inside 50. Coming through again is Eastman. Been lively early. Chips it over, but the mark taken on the back line there. I think that's Kalina. And they come out looking for Hewitt. He takes the mark. Not a lot on offer at the moment. Has to go long. Oh, and a big fist from behind. Browning for the Eagles sees that one over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. Browning works himself into the ruck. He'll be up against Murray. Bodies collide. Tries to just drop it at his feet. Not a bad option. Although it's been taken away, and kick forward comes there off the boot of Poole. Goes back and gets his own ball. Lively gives it off. This is Howard trying to kick it around the body. Umpire's seen it out of bounds on the full. It might have been a little bit after the kick there, Matty, but just out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought the ump might have called it late, but let it go.
Blokes out there failing to repair the divots as well.
Solid divot.
It's very soft out there. We've come off the back of a week, an unprecedented week of rain. So even to see green out here is a fantastic effort by the groundsman. Charleston, that's not his best kick. Going forward, now sharked away. This is Maddox. Drives them inside. UTS looking for an avenue to goal, but they just can't find it.
Well cut off there by Turner.
Stuart Turner, been around the club for a number of years now, but his kick just sitting up in the breeze. I think this is Maddox. Just drives them long, looking for Howard. He's in the area, not going to get to him. Eventually it does, though. And Johnson for the Eagles wraps it up. Still under pressure, though. A great tackle by Lloyd. And the umpire says, oh, I thought he did everything possible there, Matty.
Yeah, tough, beautiful tackle. Probably should have been rewarded with a free, I think.
Didn't seem to argue his point, though, so maybe he's just a well-mannered young man. Browning and that was Murray again go at it. Ball spills out the back. Howard puts on a big bump. Comes through again, sliding in there was Drinkwater. Seen a bit of that over the weekend.
Tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing James Howard kick a goal nice and early here.
He's got the breeze at his back. If you can get his hands on it here, he does. Took the mark of the year here a couple of years back.
He did, yeah, that's right. And can celebrate a goal. One of the best you'll ever see.
Browning up a little bit early. To see Howard just parked at the back of the pack, but standing right next to him, Johnson knows he's got a job to do. The umpire's seen a free kick, and it's the Eagles that'll take it away.
Emery.
Outside looking for Charleston. Dimmery, he'll run all day. Left foot looking for Vlatko. Not going to make there. Vlatko now having to apply the tackle. Plenty of tackles being applied. I wouldn't want to be doing that stat this afternoon. And there's Ford as well for the Eagles. The umpire says I'll have it. Good work from Murray, but sharked away by Stubbs. Beautifully through the pack. Gets on left boot and a beautiful kick through to Reed. Wonderful stuff in the wet. Reed now goes long and towards goal. Over the back, sits nicely for Ford. Drops it on the boot. That's a fantastic goal, James Ford.
Beautifully sharked, as you mentioned there, by Stubbs. Great,
he really set it up, didn't he?
Swooped through and then lovely delivery into Reed.
Open up a 13-point margin, and the Bats, well, they're yet to score at the moment, so they'll be desperate to get their hands on the ball and try and get it in there. Not let this game get away from them.
Good news is the rain's stopped for the time being.
Back in the centre now.
We found a free kick there.
Drinkwater for the Eagles. Goes away with a look at the run off the back line. Kick not a great one going in. But it just sat nicely for Reed. Drops it on the boot. Beautifully kicked and well-weighted kick. What a great lead too, Stubbs. And this is looking dangerous for the Bats.
Stubbs prominent early. He's had a good start to the season.
Maybe just a bit too far out to score at the moment. Looking for options now. He's got no option but to just get it long.
He's kicked
Doesn't
it.
mind. And look at that come back on the breeze. And I don't know why there was any concern as Trent Stubbs gets a goal for the Eagles. And they lead by 3 goals.
Easy as you like.
It really came out of the centre square. Drinkwater. And then the run off the back line. The kick in beautifully low, chiselled kick to Reed. And then the lead came from Stubbs. And beautiful mark taken out in front. And he finished the main thing. So the Eagles go forward again, just kicked out of the air. Mark was called play on. In there, it's Cass wearing 17. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Eagles 3-1, the Bats yet to score. Murray tries to get that out of the area. Just there's no one in there for the Bats. They get it across. Just a hit and hope. Comes out. That was Meta. One of the live wires for the Bats. And his kick.
Well smothered there by O'Connor, yeah.
Rain just passing over us at the moment, and fingers crossed we don't see much more of it. The wind, though, continues to howl. Sharked out of the ruck. The umpire's going to say holding the ball here. In fact, it was against Murray. I thought it might have been against. And oh, the umpire's called him play on, and they've seized part. And Pearce, I think it is, gets it off Drinkwater, running through, bustling, looking at goals, and snagging another one for the Eagles.
Bit lucky there, I think, on a couple of occasions.
It was all
Got
sorts
there in
of
the end.
fun going on in that passage of play. We'll have another look at it.
Bit of candy there from O'Connor a couple of times.
It's from the centre, the boundary throw in. Just see, takes it out of the ruck and doesn't dispose of it there, Murray. Kick comes back to Pearce, I think it is. And he's called to play on. He's got a UTS Bats. I don't know if they were outside the 10-metre protected zone either. He just goes through, finds a bit of trouble, sits up nicely for Drinkwater. He bustles through. No one can grab him. Goal to the Eagles. Back in the centre now. Approaching the 13-minute mark of this first term, and it's been all Eagles. They lead 4-1.
Oh, it's heavy in the middle.
It's on the treadmill. Out there is Maddox just off the deck, but the Eagles defence stands tall. Emery back there gets them going. They've moved it well. Costello goes one way, goes the other. In pursuit, that was Baker. Get it away. Meta in there, I think it is again. Caker now. He's felled as he kicked it, so it'll be a downfield free kick.
They need a response shortly.
Hewitt. This might be what they need, Matty. Drives it in, off hands, back there as well. That was Lloyd, could have been taken high. Umpire says play on. Howard, back to Lloyd. Spins around one way, goes the other, just puts it up high, midfield bomb style. No one can take the mark, and the tackle is applied by Johnson. And we'll have a ball up inside 50 for the UTS Bats. They need a goal. Drops down, plenty of players around this contest, and the ball will go out of bounds. So there, Howard dropping off the back of the pack. He's looking for an opportunity. Johnson right on his hammer. Obviously recognised. There's a dangerous threat up there. Coming in there was Murrell. And the umpire's seen something. Holding the ball. It's going to go to UTS. And this is their best opportunity so far. And it would be Larby to take the kick. He was an excitement machine come round one. And they'll desperately need him to work himself into the game. He just stabs at it, but does enough, and the Bats are on the board.
Yeah, Larby, a new recruit for the Bats this year, did a pre-season with Sydney Uni in the NEFL, decided it wasn't for him, and a late pickup for the Bats, as you said, was really exciting early.
Let's have a look at this free kick again. It's off the boundary throw in. Murrell did well to get the ruckman under it. Took the opportunity, I suppose. He had and he just had a little throw up there. So a very good call by the umpire. I'll apologise for you, Matty.
Beautifully picked up by Dean Garraway. Doesn't miss much, Dino.
Back pedal there, Matthew Graham. As they go through again. Poole has to go and get it again. Another great tackle applied. Umpire not rewarding them this occasion. And they go forward. O'Connor throws on the right boot. Get him into the danger zone. Reed works it back to Merson. He's wrapped up in a good tackle. Applied there from Fleming, the new recruit for the Bats. In fact, the umpire said it wasn't legal. And Merson will take the kick. Thought there was a... might have just slipped high late. Once bitten, twice shy. We'll give the umpire the benefit of the doubt. As Merson lines up. The quick reply. Off the boot, a little awkward, and it goes left. Reed brings it back in. Be careful here, dragging this one in. The umpire will have a close look at that and say it's my ball. Throw up on the far wing. In fact, it's right deep in the pocket here at Kanebridge Oval. Formerly known as Bruce Purser Reserve. Flatco just trying to squeeze a handball out. Quick kick off the boot of Kalina, smothered by a head. And this one will go over the boundary line. A bit rough to call that deliberate because I'm sure he wouldn't want to put it out there if he was going to put it out. The kick just turned around the body.
Right in front of the Eagles' nest.
Always enjoy it. They've got the tarp out there. I think that's a little bit soft for my liking. Ball comes through. UTS, they're just under pressure at every contest. And the umpire says throw it in. Sorry, Flatco to do the ruck work in there. It goes further afield to O'Connor. In there again is Poole. Moyle was dispossessed by a tackle from Merson, and here they go. Just pops up nicely for Spiteri, and he's tackled well.
Really well tackled.
That's Fleming, I think. Across from Campbelltown during the week. And they go wide. They want to spread. Not a bad kick in the end. Law, unfortunately, just couldn't take possession. And the Eagles are there in numbers. Reed turns them around, just gets the boot in time. But the kick falls in the lambs of Ifavists. Not easy to say that one. And they've just turned it over again here, the Bats. Enough to get it back. Got number extra number back. Yeah, Larby it was, standing 10 metres in front of his opponent. goes short.
Not his best kick.
Looking for Baker. And Baker just sprays it. And just the minor score. Margin 3 goals now. They've worked their way back into this game, Matty. The Bats stemmed a bit of the scoring from the home side.
They certainly have. It's a bit more forward pressure.
Dimmery.
Good grab.
He was out of position there, Stubbs, but just reached over and said, that's mine. Works it on now with Kruger. The next generation of Eagles. Has won a premiership, Kruger, with the Eagles. Before they moved into the NEFL and before he spent a year on the Swans list. Now back in the Eagles colours, looking now for Ford. Good pick-up. Works it around the corner. Just over the head of Pearce. Spiteri back now to Bradley. Bradley on the outside of the boot. Beautiful kick. Gives it to Pearce. Pearce runs in. Another goal to the Eagles. It's really something out of nothing there. Ford, who got the kick around the corner. Some good work running through Spiteri. Just picked it up one hand, as easy as you like. Bradley, no left foot, but we don't need one these days. Gives it across to Pearce, who worked his way back. Open goal. And the Eagles get another. .20-minute marker into time on in the first term. The Eagles lead by 24. See that centre square just getting chopped up. It'll be a nice shade of black by the end of the day. Some good work there from Law, just keeping the ball going forward, but Dimmery, strong as ever in the back line. Hit hard, fairly. Ducked his head in there, Drinkwater. Did well to get it clear. Umpire says in the back eventually. So lucky to get away with that one, Aaron Drinkwater. Gives it to Flatcoat. Down the line, and the line's going to win out. Really hear that wind. It won't stop this afternoon. Just comes up through the valley, the direction the camera's looking. It's caught at the top of the hill. Comes down forward, wins it away. Dimmery working around the ground, and a beautiful kick going inside to Pearce.
Dropped the mouth guard as he was leading out there.
Don't know him these
Straight
days,
out the gob.
Looking for Reed. Kruger now picks the ball up, just hands it backwards. Costello. Just me. His kick, just a high up and under. And no one really take the advantage. The umpire will say, holding the ball, go to the Bats. Umpires want a free open contest, Matty.
Yeah, didn't see a lot in that one, but there's a clearing kick for the Bats. Emery stands strong underneath. I heard a stat last year in the NEFL, he had a kicking efficiency of about 80%. Oh, and he's got 50. Very rarely gets a goal. Within range.
Eyes are lit up here.
I'm sure the boys will not want him to kick this. They won't hear the end of it.
Big lump of a lad, Kieran Emery.
Tell you what, with the kicking efficiency I talked about, you'd back him in, and if that's not a mocker, I don't know what is.
His efficiency on goal this afternoon is...
He's hit the post.
Not great. Hear the groans from the crowd. They wanted it.
You won't be happy with that.
And he's now got to do the walk of shame all the way back to the back line. And he stayed up in the contest.
It's another go at it.
Here we go, you get it back here.
Up and under, you'd back him in here.
Flies, goes the big fist like every good backman should. Drinkwater gives it across, unable to bring it in. McConnell now wrapped in a tackle by Fleming. Ball spills free. Fleming goes again. Nice little pick up.
Lovely
gives
hits.
it off, and they're away here. This is Poole. Goes inside. Not a great kick inside 50. Really took away any advantage from Leeds. And Kruger, in fact, not Kruger, that was Joinson. He goes down looking for Cass, far side. Steps inside, can't beat this line, and it's out of bounds. Approaching the 24-minute mark, first term. Eagles by 25 points. But the Bats, after a slow start, work their way in. That'll be a free kick. Umpire says high contact. Josh Cass will take the kick. Looked like the Eagles were going to run away with it big time early in the quarter. The Bats have done well to just stem the flow a little bit. Got some work to do to get back in the contest though. And they go again, the Eagles. Going to the top of the square, trying to bring that one in, unable to do so. And Maddox for the Bats drives them out of defence. Kerber, he's wrapped up. And it was Turner out there. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Can't be long to go in the quarter. Browning up against Murray. Browning wins this one out. Demery around the corner. Reed's in there. Ball is kicked out and touched off the boot. Another boundary throw in. I said it wouldn't go away, but the wind seems to have died a little bit, Matty.
Makes it a bit more bearable. Less of a rock up here.
Less of a Carnival Spirit Cruise type affair. Oh, diving tackle applied there from Cass.
They deliberate.
Maddox, and the umpires, they deliberate. I've always wondered that one. If you're being tackled, you have to handball it. The umpire said he didn't do enough, and the mark's taken.
Stubbs again. He's had a big first quarter. Kicked the one so far.
Spent some time on the Collingwood list. Obviously stood a little bit too close to Dane Swan. A little bit of markings on his arm there.
Tough stickers as they refer to them, I believe.
Wind picks up just as Stubbs kicks it, but he has read it beautifully. He cannot miss Trent Stubbs. The Eagles get another one. They lead by 31.
Forward. 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 Forward.
A couple of lovely goals from Stubbs this quarter. Difficult conditions, never in doubt.
Really hard to translate how gusty this wind is. And whilst where we are, it's right at our backs. Could be doing anything out there, but Trent Stubbs knows exactly what it's doing. Turner comes off. Picking up a little bit of mud. In there again, stacks on. No one really wants to get down in the dirt. And now they do.
Tell you what, I don't know a lot about UTS ruckman Gavin Murray, but he's had a solid start, obviously against a very good quality ruckman in Browning.
Didn't see him round one from memory. Murrell did the bulk of the ruck work on that day. Yeah, you're right. Gets his body on the line. Go back now. Big sit, couldn't bring it down. Pushing through was Lloyd. Just turns around the corner, not a bad kick. Some good work from Emery there, the big fist. Maddox in pursuit, good pickup. That there was Larby again, and eventually it's over the boundary line. Now, as the siren sounds to end the first term, it's been a good one for the home side as the Eagles skip out to a 31-point lead in this, the first quarter. They lead 6-2-38. The Bats, they got a goal on the board, but really struggled to provide scoring opportunities. As we take a break here at Kanebridge Oval. The story so far, the Eagles lead by 31 points, 6-2-38. The Bats, 1-1-7. Just about set here for the second term. It's the East Coast Eagles playing UTS here in the AFL Sydney, the BLK AFL Sydney competition. And if you've just joined us, quarter time here at Kanebridge Oval, it's the Eagles by 31 points. They've done all the scoring so far. And some flashes of brilliance around the ground has seen them open up that 31-point lead set for the start of the second term. Coach of the Bats, Nick Fosdyke, is out there really trying to get his Chargers back into the game. Thrown Murrell into the ruck. He'll be up against Browning. Thought Murray was good in that first term, Matty.
Yeah, someone I'm not familiar with, but rucked manfully up against the big fella Browning.
Underway with Browning.
Big fist.
Immediately asserts his ruck dominance. I've had the same thing said to him at quarter time. They're in there again. Murrell doing the tackling. Drinkwater at the bottom of the pack. Murrell, a former Eagle himself. And with the Bats, Browning again gets up and over. Murrell goes to ground. Bull able to get the ball up. Eastman up and under. Costello gave it off. And they drive forward, the Eagles. Connell it was that kicked it.
Found a free kick against Stubbs here, I think. Tackled him after going over the boundary.
Be happy with that.
Up and under. Oh, is that Larby again?
It is Larby. He's an excitement machine.
He's been their shining light so far today.
Was fantastic in the round one opening game of the season under lights out there at Henson Park. Stubbs, well, he's exciting, that's for sure. Turn it around the corner. Looking for Pearce. Well checked there from Kalina. Getting back in assistance, Ipovic. And it's on a little bit out there. Stubbs and Ipovic, in fact it's Merson. In there now flying the flag, Reed. Ford is giving away a free kick. In fact, it's going to go to Ford. And a 50-metre penalty for a little bit of chat. So this will be a gimme goal to James Ford. And the umpire says, I've had enough. This has got to stop. And Ford, well, he'll just go back and slot this as easy as you like. And the Eagles, well, they get a gimme.
I think Nick Fosdyke will be too happy with that.
Could have gone either way when I was looking at it. It's in the end, the umpire said that it was an Eagles kick, and Ford gets one, another one. I think he's only second game for the Eagles. He's a junior from the club. I'd say second game this year. And spent a lot of time overseas. He's now back wearing the blue and yellow. Browning and Murrell, that centre pitch is getting chopped up big time at the moment. Stubbs just gets rid of it. Eastman knocks it clear. Dimmery in there goes and gets his own ball. As well was McConnell. Tackled without the ball, Browning, but the umpire says it's okay. Scrubbed forward by the Bats now. Ball comes back in through the centre with the skates on. Just couldn't get it now. McConnell, just easy as you like, gives it across to Drinkwater. Drinkwater to Stubbs on the left boot, cannot miss. And Trent Stubbs gets another one for the Eagles.
As soon as that came off the boot, he turned around and was heading back to the middle. He knew it was a goal.
It's almost like there's no wind out there for Trent Stubbs. You can see through the middle, some good work from Costello.
Yeah, really well done there.
Out in front of McConnell, Drinkwater. Stubbs just sees it, lines him up, gives it a bit of air, and there he goes. I've done my bit. Let's get back and start again.
Off the left and all.
Well, they've held the bat up for 50 early in the second term. This could be a big score from the Eagles. Browning tries to push it back. off the deck. Costello again, Kruger. Looking for McConnell, Drinkwater there as well. Drinkwater will have to fly, doesn't get off the deck. And Moyle mops up for the Bats, drives them inside 50. Rare opportunity, but the mark's taken and the Eagles are away. Charleston, the veteran.
Oh, the floater.
He's got a trademark on that. That's how Jamie Vlatko likes them.
He's got a quiet start to the year.
I reckon he might have a shot here.
In range?
The wind's just picked up.
Yep, he is.
If I know Jamie Vlatko well enough, he sees opportunities at every corner. Puts plenty of air under it. That won't go the journey. And
somehow the ball hits the deck.
No one's there. Forward, off the left boot, dribbling kick. Not going to get there. Rush through for a minor score. 8 goals, 3 now to the Eagles. I think 2 of those have been rushed. We've got Trent Stubbs kicking for goal like he is. You almost don't need a behinds column. That wind really starting to pick up now, pushing across into the pocket as you can see. And that one runs away from Ford. We'll have a boundary throw in. Not sure what Ford's claiming there. Claiming he didn't touch it. Didn't occur to me. It looked like he definitely got a finger to it from the kick out. Now again, Browning up against Murrell. They get it going forward. Poole has been one of the best so far for the Bats. In there, goes and gets his own ball, dispossessed. So, match up there with Drinkwater.
Boundary umpire on the far side is going to get a bit of work, I think, today.
He's already booked the Radox bath. Still make Radox? Costello just says, someone's got to go and get it. It's going to be me. Gives it back. Bradley. His kick was smothered off the boot. Turner splits the pack. Dimmery, well-weighted kick to Ford. Ford gives it to Stubbs. Stubbs didn't know it was coming. Hits him in the back of the head. And he says, all right, well, if I've got to go and get it, I will. Gets it on the left boot. Pops it up beautifully, looking for Pearce. And some good work back in defence.
Really well done by Kalina there. It's been rock solid. Used the body well a couple of times previously too. Pearce is coming off, I think, 4 or 5 goals last week. So he's in form.
Andrew throw in. Back there, this one's locked in. Not getting out of there, I think it's just stuck. And he's going to call him holding the ball. Yeah, I thought he could have done a little bit more there, Matty.
Yeah, no genuine attempt. Easy one for the ump to give.
And that's not a great kick. Really difficult conditions for the UTS backline. There's been a bit of, well, in fact, I thought it must have been a quick kick in. Now the ball comes in, looking for Pearce again. Good work, Kalina. Shining light. And comes out to this near side just as the ruckman were doing an interchange. Murrell had his back to the ball. Maybe missed an opportunity. Costello, McConnell. Now to Kruger. Chaos ball.
Oh.
Pearce hits hard. Someone's down. Back to Vlatko. Keep an eye on that.
One of the bats is down and he's been cleaned up.
Emery.
It's Kalina too.
Gives it to Dimmery. See if we can pick it up.
Dino.
In fact, it was Reed who hit Kalina. And he got him flush. Fair. Dimmery doing a hop, skip and a jump on the way in. And whatever works, and that one does. And Dimmery gets the goal, and umpire calls time on. There's injury to Kalina. He's up on his knees. Have another look at it. Ball comes in off Kruger's boot. Really nothing ball. Has to turn around Kalina to go back and get it. Just doesn't see Reed coming. hits him flush. And came off second best.
Didn't miss. Look shoulder to shoulder from
Angle.
it's on his feet, which is a good sign.
Bringing him off. As the umpire starts play again. A bit of rain starts to fall again here at Kanebridge Oval. Back in the centre as we tangle with the elements. The Eagles go forward again. Merson, it was dispossessed. Now in the arms of Fleming.
Oh.
What a great kick. And it eventually goes over the boundary line. Kalenda just walking the boundary line here. Concern for the side of the neck. The Eagles push it in again. Wind starting to pick up and the rain starting to fall. This is our lot in life this afternoon, I think. Very trying conditions. In the ruck there, O'Connor off the pack. There's a shot offline. (9-4) 58. 1-1-7 is the scoreline here. The Eagles over the Bats. This is a hopeful kick, goes long through the middle. Wind really picking it up, driving it back. And there's Eagles everywhere. Poole, unfortunately, gives away the free kick. Turner. Howard coming off, he looks a bit proppy too.
Yeah, it's some sort of right leg complaint.
Vlatko in the meantime throws it on the left boot, turns it around the corner. A wonderful goal, Jamie Vlatko.
As I started saying earlier, he's had a quiet start to the year. Looked like he was needing a run round one when I was out here when they played Manly. Slowly starting to work himself into this game. So you can expect he'll be up and about soon.
They didn't play any practice matches leading into the season.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I think there was a few clubs scared off.
Couldn't have a game. No, sir. So, may go some way to explaining the slow start for some of the Eagles players. Back in the middle, Murray, he just can't keep his feet and loses his footing through the middle. Pops out to O'Connor, just drops on the boot. This wind is just playing right in the hands. Vlatko off the deck and out of bounds. You see on this near side above the interchange bench, the Eagles just ringing the changes constantly. Not so much this case on the UTS side. Making sure fresh legs out there. Merson couldn't get through traffic. Eventually it's Bats that come away with it, but it just sits up for Maddox. Can't bring it in. And Cass is tackled well. And umpire will say holding the ball. Maddox did a good job, just pinned the arm.
Yeah, great recovery there from Maddox, from being on the deck himself to forcing the free kick.
Next kick goes back. Good work from Bradley for the Eagles to get back there and make a contest. In there as well was Hewitt, who flew. The umpire says, I'll have it. Plenty of players around this. Only 8 players not in the contest from both teams. Ball hits the deck.
Nice clearance from Geordie Law. Oh, what a brilliant mark. The one-hander.
Stuck the mid out, did Tyson Lloyd. And it stuck. Just looks up and all he can see is breeze and wind blowing into his face. Stubbs takes the back mark.
What can't he do today?
He's a step above this afternoon. He just goes, Jamie, you go there. I reckon Jamie Vlatko might be the target. Vlatko can't bring it in. McConnell at the back of the pack, overruns it. In there as well. It's Merson. Bottom of the pack. There could be a problem here with the knee. That's Meta. And they've called to the boundary line pretty quickly. Although he's up and about.
Moving too well though.
It's a free kick here too, going to Merson for holding the ball. So just add injury to insult. The other way around. Merson now steps over the paint, has a shot offline.
Not his best effort.
Almost like he was kicking into the breeze there. Kept it low. Meta hobbles to the sideline. He doesn't look great.
It's 3 on the bench at the moment with some sort of injury concern for the Bats. Not ideal.
Bringing out again now. It's a good kick in the end. Turned around. Eventually found Baker. They come now, the Bats. Big bodies attacking that. Stubbs down, but back up. Gets it up now, looking for Kenner. Kenner does well to spin around the corner. Has to go there in the Caker it was.
Inside 50 for the first time of the quarter.
Caker gets it back. It could be coming back though. And it is.
They're out on the outside now.
And Merson, O'Connor, Costello. Inside looking for Reed. Reed's come up. That could be a hamstring.
There was a hobble. Oh, and the knees in the back.
One in the back, well, for good
measure.
measure. I reckon it could have been a leg injury before he got to that as well.
I think he could be right. He did seem to pull up.
Costello, he's still down. Scott Reed. And they go across. Vlatko with a little in and under. O'Connor tries to go around the corner. Eventually gets it off the deck. Needed to get it across. Sorry, Spiteri, I think it is there. And Reed is still down. Umpire calls time on. Looks like it's a toe or something. Is that the dreaded turf toe? Matty.
Being assisted off. Not moving very well at all.
Go back and have a look.
Could well be his day done.
Just here. Ooh. Roll that back. Behind is scored here. Just looking for this replay. He just throws the left leg out,
Came off the foot.
trying to get that extra bit of distance on the step. He may have done something to it. Meanwhile, the behind scored. And the Bats just cannot get it forward of halfway at the moment. Emery.
Lovely delivery.
Boot, looking for Costello. Sorry, it's O'Connor. And takes it 2 grabs. Reed's not well. He's coming to the bench assisted. Meanwhile, O'Connor will have a shot. The question. Well, we won't take that as an accurate diagnosis, Matty, but one.
The effects mic's picking up everything here.
Another kick across the
Another
face of
behind.
goal. Some of their goal kicking now, leaving a bit to be desired on the Eagles' side of the ledger. 10 goals, 7. They were 10 goals, I thought 8 goals, 1 earlier in the term. 18 minutes played, second quarter. Kick comes out, Vlatko, strong hands out in front. Takes the mark. Difficult pocket to score from. So he drives to the top of the square. Who's there? Goes through the hands of Merson and eventually rusts through. Another behind, 10 goals, 8 now. They lead by 61 points, the Eagles. Short kick in. Going to that pocket each and every time. Playing the percentage game. Now in the arms of Law. Jordan Law, he goes short again. So they've worked it out well. It's this kick here, Matty, that just needs to find a target. There, Emery got a fist in there.
A fist save the day there for the East Coast.
Murrell was good, got it back to Poole. In fact, it wasn't Poole, it was
Good quick hands.
Reynolds in there. Here they are, and working it well.
There's no one forward though.
Tackled. Back in assistance there, Johnson goes back. Could have a little bit of trouble here. Good tackle applied. That was Baker, and the umpire says, I'll have it.
Fair call.
Opportunity here for the Bats. Browning drives them forward, gives it to, eventually gets there. Dimmery off to Eastman. Eastman kicks it in. Over the back of Charleston, who's dribbled forward. Finds an extra leg when he's in the forward line, does Damien Charleston. Probably good, because the one he's got taped up every inch.
Larby's been swung into the back line. Not sure of that defence against the wind.
They've got to find something, the Bats. They've just...
I think 2 inside 50s for the quarter so far.
Browning puts it out in front of Cass. Excitement machine just pops it inside to the square. But well done by Larby.
The barrel. Nice clearing kick.
Stubbs flies, just hits bodies hard. Emery at the back of the pack. Gets it into Turner. Turner's quick to Stubbs. Back to Emery. Emery could have another chance here, doesn't he? Gives it off. And eventually Charleston swings it around. The backmen combine. Inside forward 50. Brown just sees this one over the boundary line for the Bats. Another boundary throw in. In time on, second quarter. Be a little bit of time on to play. A couple of injuries. Comes in Browning, really dominating the ruck at the moment, although it's the Bats that get the clearance.
Strong mark, I think, by Nixon over there. Haven't seen a lot of him today.
Good for a forward target. Spills free. Comes to Baker. Baker's kick was really set up beautifully for Hewitt to take the chest mark. He thought he was under pressure, it didn't come. But they've worked the ball well now. Another inside 50, they need to convert. And the mark's taken. That in there.
Jordan Law. Push forward.
With the top knot. Dishes off.
Top knot was confirmed, was it?
I think we did confirm top knot.
Well, I did raise this in the office the other day with a top knot wearer from the UTS Bats, surprisingly. And I have it on good authority that it's all about the size of the bun. If it's small one, top knot. Bigger bun, man bun.
Oh.
Seems logical to me.
Off. Taught at primary school. That's the UTS Bats have an opportunity, but unable to convert. And just the minor score.
That's first point of the quarter. Better build up though.
They moved the ball well on that occasion. Emery. He's found forward in a ton of space. This is the rebound. Charleston could go all the way if he wants to. Dishes off looking for Pearce. Couldn't fit the target. Blatko around the corner and it's touched. And offline.
Almost a goal, mate. Would not have been the prettiest goal. A couple of floaters and spinning all over the place, but take it any way you can. But not to be anyway. Probably deserving.
Meta lining up on the boundary line. He's good to go again, which is good signs for UTS. Spiteri. Just pushing it forward. Costello goes back.
He's been good this quarter.
1-2 with Johns. Pops it up. Looking for Vlatko. Umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go to the Bats for holding. It's against Jamie Vlatko.
It's pretty stagnant, the Bats, aren't they?
Brown tries to find something. They've spent a lot of time in this far pocket. A little bit of run now. As it lands in the arms of Baker. He's to Murrell. Murrell goes long. Hugging the boundary line. Emery takes the mark. There's a free kick going to go to the UTS Bats. It's going to land in the arms of Nixon. So starting to present. Interesting ball drop. There's a player down at behind play. Umpire says all good. Goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. See there, Bradley asking the umpire what he saw in that contest. Certainly slung out the back. Dimmery, he's clean bowled. Good pick up there from Lloyd. Goes back, finds Kerber. Kerber goes around the corner and then they've taken the mark inside 50.
Guess who?
And it is Larby. Tough kick, this one. You want to convert your chances, but this is a very tough kick into the breeze. Gives it everything. He got good purchase on the ball, just pushed it far, far right, out of bounds on the full as the siren sounds. So not a good end to the quarter for the UTS Bats, unable to put a goal on the board in the term. The Eagles, on the other hand, well, they really started to pile them on. They lead by 61 points as we go into the main break. East Coast Eagles 10-9-69. The UTS Bats 1-2-8. And the Eagles, well, they're well in charge of this one at the moment. We'll take a short break here at Kanebridge Oval, and we'll bring you all the second half action as it happens live here. It's 2015 BLK AFL Sydney competitions, round 3. Eagles leading the Bats. Players move into position for the start of the third term here at Kanebridge Oval. And there would have been a lot of soul searching in the UTS rooms during that halftime break. They currently trail the Eagles by 61 points. More telling, I suppose, they've only kicked the 1-2 for the match. On the other side of the ledger, though, the Eagles will be happy with their results so far, although they were a little bit costly in front of goals in that second term. See if they can turn it around in the third. As the umpire holds the ball aloft. Underway. Centre wicket is quickly becoming a bog. Poole turns it around the corner. And the mark's taken. This is Hewitt. Just to drive them inside. A quick goal here would be exactly what they'd be looking for, UTS. Browning back in defence for the Eagles. Sees this one clear. It's the Bats. Tried to ride the tackle there, did Law. Didn't really make any attempt. And Stubbs jumped on for the ride. Goes short, looking for Drinkwater. Out in front, safe hands. Goes back to Stubbs. Not a great kick. And Larby, it looks like he's going to go back into that defensive role. Drives them forward, inside 50. Good work from Charleston. Brought the ball to ground. Under a bit of pressure here, the Eagles. Emery to Drinkwater. Quick kick. And Larby again. Gets it to Kenner, but it's sharked out there. Going to be holding the ball. Johns was spun around 2 times. Umpire says it's okay. Browning unable to take the mark. Some sloppy skills to start this third term off, Matty.
Yeah, saying it before, and it is the obvious. This is the quarter that the Bats have got to make their run. Win behind their back. Probably going to be tough to do it though, I think.
Sure, they need 10 goals unanswered.
They haven't exactly looked the slickest today. He's played for it well there, Geordie Law, through the head there.
And it'll be 50 metres as well for a little bit of chat. That's against McConnell.
Well, there's one.
And get the first of the third term, the Bats. And they do, off the boot of Law. Reduce the margin to 55 points. look at it. Off the boundary throw in. See the law come off the back. Just head over it. Doesn't get it on the first attempt. Goes through and then. Oh, he probably had a case to answer there, McConnell. He certainly had a case. I don't know. There was much eye contact. And they got away with one. Do you think the top knot might have just enhanced the high contact at all, Matty?
All part of the theatre. He's Jordan Law's one of the Sydney Uni NEFL players that UTS picked up in the draft, which is a handy little pickup for them, one they wouldn't have been expecting. So I think he's likely to play a fair bit in.
There he is again.
Right on cue.
That might have been high. Lord
The last was.
turns around. And they go inside again, the Bats. This is a good start to the third term. Dimmery just tries to backpedal, get out of it, gets it to Emery. Dimmery, Emery. Nice combination. Here he is again, going to get the footy. Tackled as he jumped on it though. The umpire will be asked the question and he says, I'll have it. And Browning's not liking what he sees in there as well. Reset.
Much better start from the Bats this quarter. Well, it's a free kick. Oh, he's played advantage. Interesting decision in the middle of traffic.
Either way, to behind. Emery decides to go short. Park there was Dimmery. Emery. Out now looking for Turner. Has to track it back. Nice and composed. Dimmery gets it again, racking up the stats at the moment, and he'll get another one. He hasn't finished yet. He's just taken out of the play, so he'll get a downfield free kick, so he might even get the hands back. And the umpire's got the whistle out. He's just making sure everything's in right order. Kick now goes forward for the Eagles. Parked under it is Larby though, and he's really playing that role well.
Not a great kick there.
Larby, interesting ball drop, but the kick was a good one, penetrating forward. Murray couldn't quite handle it. Kruger, he's off to Johns. Now the Eagles with a chance. It's in the arms of Jamie Vlatko. Swings around on that trusty right boot. Drives them long. Opportunity here now for Ford. Drops off the back of the pack. Some good work there, Ipovic. And some excellent work. Gets the ball out to Baker. Baker now has a run. Got nothing to go to, so he goes to nothing. And the umpire will assess the opportunity and say deliver out of bounds.
Tough.
And, well, sort of argue the point, I suppose. He didn't really want it out of bounds, but didn't disguise the fact when there was no one anywhere near it. Drinkwater, round the corner. And beautiful kick has found Pearce. Too far out to score. Top of the square. Looking now for, that was Eastman flying. Hands in the arms of Murray. This is better from the Bats. Larby's kick smothered off the boot. Costello, the big show. Now he goes short. Larby chops up. And goes back inside. But Turner's there for the Eagles. Look at the scrappy play going on in this third term. Turner's kick found Spiteri.
Nice clean jumper.
Been in amongst it just yet. Charleston. Sneaking forward. Goes short. Found Johns. Have a shot if he wanted it. Tough from that pocket. Tough anywhere on this end of the ground. So he goes short. And found Vlatko. Well, he'll have a shot, that's for sure. Why wouldn't you?
Conditions have improved.
Yeah, relatively light breeze, I suppose, now. Still gusty at times. Sound like a weatherman. Vlatko, the natural arc, starts it right, trying to bring it back. And it's back, it's there, it's a goal! Beautiful kick from Jamie Vlatko. And the Eagles get their first of the term.
Judged that very well, didn't he?
Didn't look like going through the way he came in on the arc. Just see here, this little chink to the right. Starts it outside the goal, the point post, and just sneaks it in. Maximum result.
Beautifully judged.
Back in the centre now. Ball locked up. We'll have a secondary bounce. Some fantastic shots on goal. Saw those early ones in that first term from Trent Stubbs. Browning, the workhorse. Costello, well, he's been really good around the ground this afternoon as well. Yeah, it was Moyle trying to get it clear. Drinkwater, another one of their contributors. Been fairly solid across the ground. Ford stops, drops, rolls. Could have been holding the ball. Umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. Just bumped off the ball there was McConnell.
He's done very well, McConnell.
And Emery gets back. Umpire calls the play on. Ball in dispute. Hewitt picked it up and went. Top of the square, touch ball. Play on, good smother there from Lloyd. Emery has to get the ball out of the area. Looking for Drinkwater, and a solid mark taken from Drinkwater. And plenty of opposition in Kenner. The big fist, but the hands were good. And the kick's just as good. Finds Stubbs. Stubbs short. McConnell. Big raps on McConnell. Gives it back to Stubbs. Drinkwater again with the stat. Pearce just overruns it. There was Merson, gave it to Turner, goes back to Merson. A quick kick forward. Larby there wraps up for the Bats. Nothing to go to. Eastman tracks back. Back inside to Dimmery, not 15. Goes back to Eastman. Now he goes direct to goal. Driving kick, and he's found McConnell. McConnell swings around quickly, looks at the goals, sizes them up. I'll have that one, he says. And the Eagles get another.
Right on cue there, Abba. Your man.
Certainly one of their needful players that just stayed with the club.
Push.
And as sunlight just bathes the ground.
I think it's called a shadow. We haven't actually seen that for about a week and a half in Sydney. Back in the middle. Margin 66 points in favour of the Eagles. A good goal to McConnell. It's the Bats who get it out. So, Sunlight's wreaking havoc now. Law puts it out in front of Moyle. Just gets the boot to it eventually. Drives them forward. Merson in there for the Eagles. Couldn't come out with it. Law again. And the umpire will ball this one up. 12 minutes played, third term here at Kanebridge Oval. The Bats started this quarter well with the opening goal. Another opportunity presenting here is Hewitt, who just goes back into trouble. It's Merson applying the tackle and rewarded duly.
He's trimmed up a bit this year, Merson. Not that he was big last year, but he's done a huge pre-season with Sydney Uni Neefel and he's looking much fitter.
Cass was in pursuit. Forced a turnover. Emery. Goes out to Dimmery. that a few times. Turner. Solid work there from McConnell. Was quiet early in the game, but starting to work his way back into it. Once again, Dimmery looks up for Cass. Couldn't quite get it one grab. Has to go back and do some work. Ball's wrapped up now. Umpire will look closely and say, I'll have it. 13-minute mark of this, the third term. O'Connor in the ruck. Brings it down to McConnell. Somehow comes out. Falls in the arms of Vlatko. Works a handball over the top. Beautifully done, Pearce. Forward couldn't take the mark. Going back there and gets the ball for a second option, and a beautiful kick inside. And James Ford, some brilliant work. It was Will Bradley that snuck forward and has taken the mark. And we'll have a shot on goal from about 15 metres out. No problem whatsoever, and the Eagles get their 13th goal of the afternoon. Some good work from the boundary throw-in on the far side. McConnell with the quick handball back. Vlatko beautifully handballed back inside. I think it was to Pearce. Ford couldn't take the first mark. O'Connor, and Ford saw an option forward, and it was the running Bradley, and finish was fantastic.
Vlatko's definitely working himself into the game. Racking up a few possessions now, so he's hitting his straps.
As we said earlier, Matty, the Eagles didn't play any practice matches going in to this season. Almost starting to see a little bit of what would be traditionally round one form building in this game.
Probably showed up in their opening round match where 40 points up in the last quarter, they got run down by Manly.
Sets up an enthralling battle that will be taking place out there at Mike Kenny Oval next week. Saturday night under lights at Mike Kenny Oval. It's the Eagles versus Pennant Hills. And that one is one that certainly entertains. Law just got the boot to it. Going forward, Kruger. Tackling pressure has been amazing. Lloyd quickly for the Bats, goes inside. Poole. Poole, sorry, in there. And the ball's wrapped up. O'Connor and Murrell on that occasion. In fact, it was Nixon in the ruck. Ball comes forward for the Eagles. Cass couldn't quite trap it in. Gets it back to Vlatko. Vlatko to Dimmery. He's got a ton of possessions out there on that far wing this afternoon. Goes and gets his own ball. Picks up another two. Stubbs. Worked it by hand. And eventually over the boundary line.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Dimmery's racking him up over on that wing. A few give and gets. You mentioned the clash next week, the reigniting of the rivalry between Penno and East Coast.
Still play for the Warren Quintrell Shield. To find out, see who's got that one at the moment. So it would be Pennant Hills.
Yeah, I think the last couple of years with the East Coast, or formerly Sydney Hills, Neefel side, their senior team playing up there.
An attack on the football in this case from Pearce. Tries to get the ball up, can't quite do so. A little toe poke through from the Bats. It's right in the mud deep. And Poole loves that one. Goes and gets it out. Beautifully done. Hewitt overruns it. Law just tries to get it off the back. Poole going in there again. They're just scrubbing this one forward at the moment, UTS, but Kruger has other thoughts. Emery. Drinkwater gets it to Pearce eventually. Quite a clean jersey he's wearing there as well. Scotty Pearce. Work there from Johns.
Not too much mud up in the forward line.
Vlatko, it was a throw. Umpire says it was a good one. Drinkwater steps back inside, and a nice mark taken up there. Merson Seems to be camped up in the forward line at the moment. Sees an option, goes short, and a good mark taken from Trent Stubbs. And there's nothing that Brendan Brown could do there. He is just so strong with the hands. He'll go back and have a shot from about 45 out. And the way he's been kicking it this afternoon, he almost marked this one down. Cue the shank. Stubbs looks good off the boot. I might have given it too much, and true to form. 13-10 now, the Eagles, 88. The Bats just 2-3-15. Scoring opportunities been few and far in between for the boys from UTS. Give some thoughts for Nick Fosdyke to work on.
Nice clearing kick there from Fleming, who's been pretty quiet today. First game in Bats colours.
Turner stands tall. Gives it a big mongrel kick going inside. Spiteri spins out of trouble. Another mongrel kick to Merson. Can he mongrel kick it through for a goal?
They go
by handball. Pearce, McConnell works it around, hits the post. The ultimate mongrel.
There's too many options.
All of them mongrels. The real sting of this game has gone out. The Eagles comfortably ahead by 74 points as we approach time on in the third. Browning with the big flight. Turner goes back, good courage. Merson says, I want it. He gets it. Now they go short, looking for Pearce. And he's got it. And he'll go back and have a shot. The wind's really died down in this quarter. Certainly not as strong as it was in the previous two quarters. 55 out, drops it on the boot. It's got a bit of a distance on it. And going back with the flight, Stubbs takes the mark. And he'll have the opportunity to convert this into a major. And line up to put the pressure on. He loves these, does Trent Stubbs. Steps off one boot, round the corner, as easy as you like. Another one to the Eagles. They don't get much easier than, well, they don't get much harder than that, but they're not made to look that easy very often.
Bread and butter stuff. I think that's his fourth today, Stubbs. Seen plenty of action.
It's a good mark going back. Pearce really just decided, I might have a disguised shot at goal here. Pretend it's not. And Stubbs tracking back on his hammer. There was Ipovic, but couldn't do anything about it. Well read and a good mark from Stubbs. Back in the middle, it's more of the same. The Eagles win the clearance. Drinkwater gets a nice little handball up, opens the goals up, and he kicks a mongrel forward to Pearce. That was a shot on goal, Matty.
I think it was.
There was no way that was a pass. And Pearce steps back and, well, I've seen everything now. He's missed from 12 metres out. Pulled it right.
It's very easy out of the middle there from East Coast. Doing as they please now.
Go forward again. Mark not taken. McConnell in there. Could have been high contact. The umpire hasn't seen it. And we'll have a ball up. Browning just hits it forward. Stubbs in pursuit. Just sits up awkwardly for him. And Brown takes the ball in. The umpire just gives in to the request from the Eagles' nest. And they've found voice. Might have been that little bit of warm weather coming through.
Bit of sunshine. Warm that tarp up.
The tarp.
Yeah, they've been very quiet, haven't they?
Not as vocal as years gone by. A few blankies up there too, Matty. I'm concerned. Standards have dropped.
Different,
Cass. lines them up, works it well beautifully, and the Eagles doing it as they please at the moment. So the ball gets dumped forward. Stubbs was in pursuit, couldn't quite get there. Brown dragged it in, and yeah, he had no other intention. The umpire had no other option but to call him holding the ball.
Eagles nest on the money.
O'Connor in the ruck now, gets a second bite of the cherry. Goes out. Kerber it was for the Bats. Meta, I think it is, in there. This is where it gets confusing, Matty. Is that a top knot or is that a ponytail?
Oh.
Is it length as well as depth?
I'd have to get Sam Canavan, the authority on this, to give a... there's half a dozen from the Bats with one. He'll be able to give me a rundown on all of them, I'd say.
Just a chart that we could work off.
I'll go man bun.
Oh, Spiteri.
The smallest bloke out there.
Never going to be a mark, but he went in there and got it cleanly. Oh, O'Connor snags it out. That's the ultimate smother.
Salutes the crowd.
Another one to the Eagles. You see this one, Matty. This is the first one. It was Spiteri.
It's fall in the middle of about 15 blokes. Smallest bloke's got it.
Oh, it's in my arms.
To mark.
I'll have a shot. I'll kick a goal. Fantastic work from O'Connor. Vlatko now in the ruck. Doing it on a
Something
rotation
new.
system now. He has played a little bit in the ruck when needed, but there's about 3 other blokes out there, known ruckmen.
I think he may maybe demoted after that first effort.
Turner. Harsh marker. Costello. He's been one of their best this afternoon. This is that man. Dimmery goes forward. Spiteri showing a little bit of that little brilliance that we've seen over the years. There's plenty of holding going on there, and Merson, in fact,
could have gone either way there, I think. Bit of jumper tugging from both. Merson will happily take it though.
He will. Wants to move it quickly. Browning's back there now, the big man. Won't get a run at this one. Drinkwater. He'll get a run at it. Hits it off. O'Connor, the goal kicker. Don't know about that one. And umpire says, I'll have it. Probably dragged in by Turner on that occasion. Well into time on in this third term. Johns goes outside. Dimmery
wing.
They will rename it. Kruger.
And again.
Dimmery.
He'll go again here.
He'll get it back. Kruger. He'll use some pace. Does like to run. And the kick, not a great one. And Maddox is there for the Bats. Short kick, not a great one as well. Skills have been a little lacking this afternoon. O'Connor, he just belts it forward. Spiteri loves it from here. Swings it around looking for Stubbs. Great kick, Spiteri.
Knew what he was doing there. Centering it. Stubbs, good mark, pushing back. Normally you'd back him in here.
I'm leaving him
after the last one.
Leaving to do what he wants here. Trent Stubbs.
Aim at the right goalpost.
Well, after that first term,
he couldn't miss.
He could not miss. He's
left and right.
He's sprayed a couple. The margin 99 points now. Lights are on here at Kanebridge Oval. Goes to the far side. Turner at the back, couldn't bring it in. Dimmery, well, that's just another lazy stat. I say lazy, I'm talking sarcastically, of course. He's at about 40, I reckon. Picks up multiple stats in passages. That's where he really
give and go, get back.
Troubles the Supercoach scorers. Ball comes in now, O'Connor. Well, he was going to do the ruck work until it was a very short boundary throw in. And Turner called upon to wrap it up in there as well. So siren sounds to the end of the term. We'll just check on the score at the moment. A little discrepancy. In fact, I think we might be wrong. Credited
an extra goal
to Trent Stubbs there. Marked it down a little early, but as we do go in to the three-quarter time break, the Eagles well in control. 94 points is the margin. 16-13, 109. Bats, well, they've only managed the 2 goals this afternoon. 2 goals, 3-15. So as we go into the three-quarter time break, we'll take a short break here and join us for all the final term action in about 5 minutes' time. Just about set for the start of the final term here at Kanebridge Oval. The East Coast Eagles, well, they are in charge and lead currently by 94 points. And right now, we're pretty much on specky watch, Matty, because we know how this one's going to play out. We just need something to spark a bit of interest in this final term.
Sun at the back now, it's beautiful.
Let's get the sunscreen out shortly. Murray up against Browning. Browning balanced. Nice little handball through there. Johns, I think it was. I don't know the looks of these blokes in the sun. They all look different. Pearce slings his opponent away, but coming through was McConnell. Goes underground, swings it around the body, and the mark is taken by Johns. Has a nice bit of play from McConnell. Good attack on the footy. Johns will have the kick.
It's almost like they had an extra man on the field there, East Coast pushing forward.
Like that all day, unfortunately.
Yeah, true.
Johns' kick just pushes it to the left.
Certainly an interesting competition this year. We're 3 rounds in. We've got the 1 undefeated side now, assuming UTS don't stage a miraculous comeback from here, that being Pennant Hills, and only 1 side without a win in Western Suburbs, who, once they gel, you'd expect to make a real run at finals. So it's good for footy in Sydney anyway. Hard to get a read on.
Early form. It's hard to read. UTS pushed the ball wide. Good, mate. Got there, Ipovic. Goes short again. This has been their want to do this afternoon, just maintain possession, going short. This one goes over the boundary line. And Lloyd. Not Lloyd, it was Hewitt. Just pulled up. Stubbs back to Turner. For Browning. Quite get down to it. Drinkwater just slaps it off the ground, going forward. Johns back to Vlatko. Good kick, top of the square, gave Pearce every opportunity. Spiteri running onto it. Getting back there was Baker. And leaves a bit of pressure. Will be interesting to see how the ladder pans out over the coming weeks. And especially really looking forward to next week's contest.
Yeah, that'll tell us a lot about this comp.
There, the open spaces of Mike Kinney Oval. Pray for a little bit of better weather during the week so we can get a lot more footy played. Nice little step around there by Lloyd. And they drive forward. UTS with an opportunity here. Back there, Hewitt's in amongst it. But as they've done all day, the Eagles through Browning. Out there to McConnell. Just seems
Jack
very
Dimmery on his
composed.
wing.
Dimmery.
And again, what we were talking about before.
It's the 1-2. Should almost divide his stats by 2. Eagles unable to put a major on the board.
The first few minutes of each quarter, the Bats have matched it with East Coast today, but the longer the quarter's gone on, the dominance of East Coast has really shown up.
So if you're saying that there would have been 2-minute quarters, it would have been a really tight contest. Is that what you're saying, Matty?
I'm trying to find some positives for them.
Law, well, he's been a positive.
Yeah, he's been in and under plenty of the footy.
Good for them.
They've really missed Tregoning up forward. He was arguably best on ground in the opening round match. I know there's a few guys out for the Bats today with, I think, due to the Anzac Day weekend. So probably not at full strength. Not that it'd be a lot to add, I believe. Good mark there from my mate Vlatko. Really worked into the game nicely.
He has just grown as the game's gone on, as has this player in Scott Pearce. He's been very, very good for them up forward. The Anzac Day is always an interesting one for local footy. Players with commitments. And Pearce, just as beautiful kick off the boot, as easy as you
leg.
like. And they get another one, and the margin's over the 100 points.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of new faces at the Bats this year, a number of which are Defence Force guys, meaning this weekend was obviously not an ideal one for them. Sunday probably helped in terms of their numbers, but definitely outclassed today by a pretty slick East Coast outfit that themselves would say they probably haven't hit any great heights.
It's not hasn't been a, it's hard, it's an interesting thing to say, but it hasn't been a super dominant display by the Eagles in patches. I mean, it's hard to say that when they're 100 points ahead, but you can just see now the class rising. Browning has been winning the ruck. Poole's been good for the Bats.
Real tough nut in and under.
Hewitt swings around, standing tall. Browning just gets back in that tall defensive role. Maddox, and the mark's taken by Kruger. Goes short, almost doesn't get it to where he marked it. Back to Drinkwater. Emery.
Crowd favourite.
He's got Bradley out here. Sweeping handball inside. Sits nicely for Johnson. He drives them inside, looking for Pearce. It's too much on it. And the mark's taken by Bland. That's a Kerber. Now Law stops, puts the brakes on, goes underneath. Dimmery in pursuit. Couldn't get there. A good mark taken by Hewitt. And it's starting to string together a nice couple of passages at the moment, the Bats. A few more options. Coming out with it. It's Baker. Now the top of the square. Will this bounce? Going back, couldn't bring it in. Almost the mark taken, and the free kick's going to be given away. Unfortunate for UTS.
You saw James Howard limp off early. He hasn't returned. That was early on. Not that he would have seen a lot of footy up forward, but
Took away one of our live wire options though, which is what you need in a game like this. Charleston, Drinkwater, well he's had probably just as many as Dimmery today. Pearce just dropped a mark. Merson. Some names that you'll hear a lot of. So, during this 2015 BLK AFL Sydney season. This resurgent East Coast Eagles side. Johns eventually called to play on, and it goes over the boundary line. As we saw last week, it was Pennant Hills who defeated Manly out there at Weldon Oval. Imagine those two sides will feature prominently in the final series. Browning. Just a nice little kick there through from Vlatko. Mark not paid to Spiteri. Just caught a bit of turf on the way through. Stubbs to Vlatko. They've worked it well. Bradley, kick inside. And there was Costello, couldn't take the mark. Trying to bundle his way through. That's Stubbs at the bottom of that pack. Larby right on his hammer. In fact, it was Merson. I've seen something here. It's a holding. Free kick's going to go to the Eagles. And it'll be a kick on goal. Trent Stubbs.
For his 11th, probably.
Special comments from Stephen O'Connor from ground level. Might have been his 11th that he'd kicked a little bit straighter earlier on.
Yeah, I've got him at that being his 5th, I think. Almost halfway to 11.
He's just bonused a lot there, O'Connor, as he was running onto the ground.
What do they say about Ruckman?
Yeah.
Better not say
Those
too
people-
much.
Yeah, those people who know Stephen O'Connor too, he's a ruckman. The Eagles, 108 points ahead now, approaching the 10-minute mark, final term. It's almost pleasant up here now, Matty. Sun's out, the wind has dropped.
Jacket off soon.
We'll
beautiful.
might ask them to play another couple of quarters. This is quite nice up here. Umpire heeds to the requests of the Bats, and Poole gets a free kick for holding the ball. Goes out wide, just clutches the left edge of the boot. And
Kick to space.
it opens it up. Kerber. In pursuit. Now they've worked it well, the Eagles. Kruger with the clean shirt. Fine for that, I'm sure. Flat coat. Brother John not playing this afternoon. A little bit of hamstring tightness, I'm told. And you'd have to say probably a good option to hold him back. I definitely want him firing for next week's match. Go forward, Pearce. He's really grown as well. As this game goes on, drives it long. Oh, Connell almost had a meeting with the point post.
Courageous, going back with a flight. Guessing he didn't know the post was there, but fortunately just missed it.
UTS taking plenty of time to get this one out. And down the line, safety option. Dragged in, the umpire says that's okay. Work there from Larby, trying to work his way through. He's going to be one of the players to watch from the UTS Bats, that's for sure. Comes out, forward, goes around one way, goes around onto the right. Thank you very much, James Ford. He's had a stunning game this afternoon as well, and the Eagles get another one. It's their 19th goal. They lead by 114 points. set. Eagles on the rampage now. Siren can't come quick enough for UTS. Murray to ground level.
He's been good today, Murray.
Certainly was early on. It's definitely causing some troubles for the Eagles in the ruck. He's pushed his body on the line. He'll give away a free kick here, unfortunately. Played that well, O'Connor. And that should have been a 50. Umpire didn't see it.
Straight through the mark, yeah.
Might have been in pursuit of a player, but he certainly went through the mark. Now it goes to the back. McConnell. Also back there is Pearce. Gets it up to McConnell. Goes back inside traffic. Gives it to Ford. Ford puts on the afterburners. Throws it on the boot. Under pressure. Another goal to Ford. And that is one of the best as well.
Go, Drake.
What came off the back of the free kick in the ruck. There. Initially it was Ford, went up for the mark. Pearce with a beautiful pick-up and a handball across. McConnell stepped around traffic, gave it back to Ford. Just put that little bit of pace on. Got tackled in the end, but was good enough to just throw it on the boot. And that's a great goal. Right, centre free kick's going to go to UTS. Law goes away with it. Drops it on the boot, and a mark's taken up forward. Hewitt, I think it is.
One of the rare times Emery's been beaten today. There's a rock down back. Gave his opponent a couple of metres. That was all he needed.
Ball out of the middle. Back.
Certainly helps, doesn't it?
It's, something they haven't had a lot of this afternoon. Hewitt drops it. Not a great kick. A moment punt pass. Top of the square. Percentage kick.
We've seen a few of those today, haven't we? The old
And Tom Nixon.
mongrel shot that turns into a pass. Tommy Nixon will take it though.
He'll take it and he'll kick it.
Just the third for the day.
Kicked it back. You know, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here. I reckon this
Always
was
a pass.
Just the way he lined up. This sort of slow approach. It's your typical top of the square approach.
Picked his target out.
Analyse the kick. Gee, it's almost the inverted torque. And Nixon was right there. The Bats get their third for the afternoon. And a disappointing day out for the boys from UTS. Undermanned, but certainly outclassed here at Kanebridge Oval. Dimmery tried to knock it forward, couldn't do so. Ends up with Reynolds. Comes back. It's good work from Lloyd. Another opportunity here, but the Eagles will have other ideas. Inside has just too much on it. Murrell runs onto it, too slow. And the Eagles get the free kick, looking for Stubbs. Strong overhead, couldn't bring this one down. Coming through at pace was Johnson. Stubbs applies the tackle again. Caker just couldn't get going on that occasion. Eventually does, swings the handball forward. And that's Meta. And he's met solidly by O'Connor. To claim a free kick. Forthcoming Stubbs. Well, he's had plenty of it, that's for sure. Larby. A different role for him this afternoon. And I think he went up there, Turner went up for a spoil with one arm. Got the other one free, ended up taking the mark. With Johns.
What am I doing?
Swing it wide, not a lot on offer out there. Turner has worked hard across the ground. Not a great kick. Looking for Cass. Applies the tackle on the rebound. And the umpire will ball this one up. 18 minutes played. Final term. Bodied Browning out of that one. Flatco back in defence. Kruger. Now out to Dimmery. Look for the 1-2. Does go short. He'll back this up. Cass. And there's Dimmery. He'll get a tackle stat. He's got one in the mouth there. Law. Quick chip. Plenty of air under it and turn it as easy as you like. Takes the kick. That should be a 50-metre penalty.
Did he raise the arms?
He did actually raise the arms. That's one of those new rules. The technical rules. You can't actually put, if you're in the area trying to get out of it, you can't put your arms up. And you just see last minute, he does that.
Well picked up.
It's one of those ones that I think the rule is actually you don't even have to touch it if you do put your arms up.
I think that was the rule last year.
They altered it again.
Yeah.
Oh, great! Love that.
But I think for the better. So previously it was if you're inside the 5 metres, raise your arms, regardless of where you are, even if you're behind the player.
It was a strange rule. I remember when it first came in, it was a strange rule, and
so a bit more common sense now. I guess if you
it's gone.
Put your hands up inside the protected area and you get hit, I'll pay that.
Yeah. Come out again.
It's where they've struggled all day, isn't it? There's been plenty of behinds kicked, and they just can't seem to clear that 50.
Ivovich tracks that one back over the boundary line. We're into time on in the final quarter. And if you did a straw poll, not sure there'd be too many people upset if you just blew the whistle right now. Present company included. It's been a long day out here. We've had rain, we've had wind, it's been cold, we've had sun. Right now it's quite a balmy afternoon at Kanebridge Oval. Meadow with the clearing kick. Tracking it back, Maddox. Back into Meadow. Not his greatest effort. Back again, Baker. Puts it high. Set under this one. On that occasion was Nixon. Didn't do enough to bring it in. Browning. His handball laconic, to say the least. Moyle turns it around the corner. I think Andrew Browning would be in the on the side of it, just blowing the siren right now too. He's had a ton of work to do this afternoon, the big fella.
It's a wild-looking man, isn't he?
Grow one like that, I probably would. Headband, I do love a headband in football. Jamie Flatco obviously handed it down from years gone by.
The door-track umpire votes the old headband. Whether or not the top knot man bun, whatever we're going with, has replaced the...
Should render you ineligible.
Oh, brilliant mark there from Merson. One-hander, falling to the ground.
Gives it off the stars. They've been very good at ground level this afternoon, the Eagles. This man has been fantastic too, Drinkwater.
I was going to say that. Stubbs and Drinkwater, two of the better.
How's that for a mark too from forward? And James Ford will go back and have another shot on goal. In fact, he'll just dish it off beautifully to O'Connor. O'Connor will kick from about 35 out. Distance not an issue. Getting frustrated with him now. O'Connor, not a great looking
Stabbed
kick.
at it, yeah.
Offline, 20 goals, 17 now, 137. Bats 3-3-21. Certainly wasn't the contest that we were hoping for this afternoon. UTS were in impressive in their first round hit out with the Bulldogs. Enjoyed the week off last week with the bye.
Enjoyed it with the Prime Minister.
I did see that during the week.
Caught up with that. Made national headlines.
I'm told, though, it was a shandy that the Prime Minister sculled.
I've heard numerous stories. Last story I heard from fairly good authority was a Peroni, and not the full schooner though. What do they call the those half glasses in eastern suburbs? A Schmitty or a...
Get over there much, my friend. Schmitty. If he sculled a Schmitty, that's grounds for a double disillusion.
Apparently there was a jump in his ratings. So Bats are claiming.
Until they found out it was a Schmitty.
Yeah, he's got an invite to Ladies' Day as well. The Bats certainly running with it. The media personalities within the club.
Oh yes, there was certainly a strategic plan put in place. As Browning takes the mark. 60 out. Going towards Stubbs. Getting amongst it there was Kazad Meta. And it goes over the boundary line. Approaching the 25-minute mark at this final term. Unfortunately, in early reports for UTS, apparently it was reported that he was drinking with the UTS rowing club. So, need to do a little bit of work on their PR.
Do you know their PR man by any chance? At the Bats?
I think they've got about 15 unofficially. Free kick goes to the Eagles. And there's going to be a 50-metre penalty just for, it might have been Yap. So this should be 2 metres out from the goal line. Giving away a few of those. Well, I don't understand that, Matty.
On the
Free
50.
kick was given 2 metres away from the 50-metre line, and the 50-metre penalty is 15 metres out. Got to use your visual aids. As they kick the goal, the Eagles. 21 goals, 17, 143. The Bats just the 3-3, 21. 122 points the margin. Comprehensive win to the Eagles and a wonderful percentage booster early in the season as well.
Does set it up very well for next week's game, where weather pending. Be up on the scissor lift again.
Oh, it's just at night time too.
Night time, be nice and blowy there at Mike Kenny.
That'd be wonderful.
But it does it sets it up for a ripping clash between the two sides.
Traditional rivals in the hills, the Eagles and Pennant Hills. Way back to Borkham Hills and Pennant Hills days. Of course, some could say that the Borkham Hills Club and subsequently the Eagles Club was born out of the Pennant Hills womb. Probably where the rivalry forms. 50-metre penalty here going to the UTS. Well, it's just the whole game is falling into a rabble now, unfortunately. As we approach the 27-minute mark of the final term, Browning, he's out on his feet.
Demery.
Another stat, it'll be 48.
It'd be interesting to see the stats on a few of the guys today. Demery's had plenty of it, as has Drinkwater. Stubbs had plenty early.
Baker goes forward for the Bats. Siren, you have to say, is not too far away. Saw what that kick's trying to achieve, but going back with it was Eastman. Couldn't bring it in. Kick around the corner. Now will this one roll? Rolls to the boundary line. And a boundary throw in. Unfortunately, the clock stopping. £122 points the margin. The boundary umpires have had plenty of work to do today. As the siren sounds, a comprehensive victory to the East Coast Eagles here in the BLK AFL Sydney competition. It's round 3, and the margin in the end was 122 points. The Eagles 21-17, 143. The UTS Bats just a 3-3-21. And really not a lot to write about for UTS, but on the other side of the ledger, you can just feel the East Coast Eagles just warming up to their season, and they will be red hot to have a full tilt at this one. Matty, as we wrap this one up, there's some positives for the Bats, but a little bit of work to do for them going forward.
Yeah, certainly. There are a few shining lights there. Jordan Law we mentioned a number of times, Larby as well. But you can see why East Coast came into the competition as premiership favourites. They were beaten round 1, but you'd think they'd still hold that mantle at the moment. Class all over the park. They'll be hard to beat for the rest of the year.
We wrap up this historic and memorable weekend in Australia's history, the 100th centenary of the Anzac landing at Gallipoli. A fitting way to finish the weekend. The Eagles with a 122-point victory over the Bats as we wrap it up here from Kanebridge Oval. And make sure you tune in next week. From Saturday night, we'll be bringing you the Pennant Hills Demons versus the East Coast Eagles. That will be one to watch. Might be nice to be home on the couch with the iPad watching that one as opposed to being up on a scissor lift calling it with a camera crew. But we'll be there to bring you the AFL Sydney Match of the Week. Finally, wrapping it up here, the Eagles winners by 122 points over the Bats. Join us next week as we bring you more live action from the AFL Sydney competition.